Russia has three problems: fools, roads, and Kadyrovites. Before the invasion of Ukraine, they had the status of elite warriors, universal soldiers who could conquer all of Ukraine with just a raised eyebrow.
The Ukrainian problem, Don, that's not at the level of the country's president. That's my level, Don. If I had been entrusted with it, I would have solved this issue, Don. Or I would have annexed the Chechen Republic to Ukraine, Don, and I would have taken them back when I said after Crimea we'd taken Kyiv, Don.
But at the very first encounter with a real opponent, Akhmat, power turned into Akhmat retreat. Putin's loyal foot soldiers and Ramzan's personal, dedicated guard can successfully advance only in a single direction, truly backwards.
Who are you?
Russia, a hero of Russia, general, head of the Chechen Republic, Don of the Air Force. I am Russia, Don.
This is a story about cardboard troops to capture London, but were captured near Kyiv, became a meme.
The region known as Donbass, located in Eastern Europe, is currently not considered to be an integral part of Ukraine.
After the rout near Kyiv, the Kadyrovites quickly realized they had nothing to gain in real combat and retreated from the front to TikTok. And there, no one could stop them from winning. Here they are shooting at a traffic light. And here they kicked in a garage door. They wanted to show that they could walk calmly through the streets of Ukrainian cities, but they panicked at the sound of gunfire. It couldn't have been any other way, because the Akhmat fighters are not soldiers, they're racketeers, Kadyrov's death squad, whose only job is to terrorize businesses and deal with the opposition. They are always ready to confront gay parades and solo pickets.
The scariest thing is that this LGBT filth could come into our homes, that our children could walk under these flags. That for us is most frightening. And today we are the army of Jesus.
But against the Ukrainian defense forces, they are useless and helpless. That's why Akhmat's main weapon isn't a rifle or a mortar, it's the photo helmet and the almighty power of editing. Their latest so-called victory literally set the Z-Patriots' behinds on fire. Everyone has already seen the video of our fighter near the Pyatrochka store.
Dear Ukrainians, he stopped by Pyatrochka. Stop by Pyatrochka. I'll tell you, the selection isn't great. The selection isn't great. ATB is better. Glory to Ukraine. I'm not to Pyatrochka. I'll be at ATB soon.
The Akhmat fighters decided to take this video and show how heroically they fight. Some particularly underdeveloped comrades just slapped an explosion at the end.
Dear Ukrainians, he stopped by Pyatrochka. Stop by Pyatrochka. I'll tell you, the selection isn't great. The selection isn't great. ATB is better. Glory to Ush.
The internet literally exploded over such a stupid and cynical fake. Vatniks of all kinds started demanding that Akhmat and its commander Alodinov personally be removed so they wouldn't disgrace the Russian army. And then something incredible happened. Akhmat even retreated on TikTok. The shameful video was quickly deleted, but I think we won't be left without content for long. We're waiting for a video of Kadyrov's men deflecting a dirty bomb with a rifle butt.
Kadyrov's men steal, loot, and occupy other people's houses where they record their cheerful videos. That's how it is. We're having a good time.
The scariest thing is that this LGBT, this filth, could come into our homes. That our children could walk under these flags. That for us is the most frightening thing. And today we are the army of Jesus. We're not hiding this from anyone.
The so-called troops are commanded by a real wedding general. One Apti Alodinova man who, over the past few weeks, has truly become a meme champion, surpassing such notable giants as Grigorich and Ramzanchik.
Right now, these are very difficult times for the residents of the Russian Federation, for the people of the Kursk region, and for those living in border areas with Ukraine. Because after this battle, Ukraine will fall. But it's not just Ukraine that will fall, it's the entire NATO bloc, all of Europe and America who support Ukraine. They will all fall together.
It looks like I have certainly picked the very wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
In case anyone doesn't know, Alodinov and his Akhmat unit are still keeping the border in the Kursk region tightly secured. They haven't let a single Ukrainian soldier through.
Wherever Ahmad is stationed, as they always say, the enemy has not gotten through at all. But in those specific places where they are not present, Ahmad simply cannot be present along all 400 kilometers of the extensive Russian Federation's border. So I would kindly ask you not to spread such childish nonsense.
The Akhmat fighters are heroically trying to engage the Ukrainians in battle, but they're always just a little too late. The cunning Ukrainians always attack from the places where the Kadyrovites have already fled.
All of the brave guys from our Akhmat units who were actively engaged in combat here on the border. What's truly interesting is that they are all still firmly holding their positions. The enemy, it turns out, destroyed 2 maps. At first, they advanced without, as they say, Massachusetts, PS through areas where there was a large distance between our strong points. So they went through there and then, as they say, rushed in directly with vehicles.
Not making it to the war on time, that's basically an Akhmat tradition. We all remember the comedy series How I Didn't Meet Prigozhin. Back then, the Kadyrovites also took a very long time to get to Moscow to defend it from Wagner's mutiny, but they never made it.
Ahmad Sila, Allahu Akbar.
Akhmat is not a military unit. This is the PR department. His task is to demonstrate the invincibility of the regime. They are expensively and richly equipped, drive luxury cars, and record menacing videos.
Soon Ukraine will no longer exist. Don't worry. Ahmad Sila, Allahu Akbar. They will never appear here again in their lives. My Ahmad Sila, Allahu Akbar.
But the myth of the Kadyrovites lives on only until they enter real combat. That's why they are kept far from the front line, in the third line, in the occupied rear, or in safe areas. Kursk region was just such an area. Russia did not expect an attack there, so it confidently stationed Akhmat there. Who could have thought that in the 3rd year of the full-scale war, Ukrainians would dare to attack where Moscow least expects it? That's not fair!
Of course, I want to say I feel very sorry for the people who suffered. These are peaceful civilians, innocent of anything. Of course, our citizens of the Russian Federation never expected that in the 21st century they could be treacherously attacked and killed like this. They thought all of that was in the past.
The occupiers have been ravaging Ukrainian lands for 10 years now. And now, it turns out, the war has come to Russia unexpectedly. It's especially funny to hear this from Aladinov, who since 2022 has supposedly captured all of Ukraine and defeated all of NATO.
Strength, power Donbass is invincible. And don't have any doubts. As I've already told you, there's no reason for anyone to doubt. Know that there are indeed men in Russia who are truly ready to defend their motherland to the very end and diligently do their job, as well as, so to speak, we were prepared for it, and we were prepared for this very well. So everything will certainly be fine.
Everyone has a logical question. Who is this Harlequin? Where did he come from and how did he end up like this? Apti Alodinov, or as he's called, Aladdin's Lapti Bast Shoes.
So what tasks are currently at hand? What tasks does the Akhmat Special Forces have to accomplish? Well, we have just one task. Developing TikTok and my channel, Aladdin's Lapti.
This character worked in the law enforcement agencies of Chechnya, served the pot-bellied dictator, and did all the dirty work for the big boss. He is suspected of brutally persecuting Kadyrov's opponents, as well as of mass killings.
You are truly a real freak.
Naturally, in Putin's Russia, such a person quickly climbed the career ladder, and in 2022 became a general and a hero of Russia. A man who brutally kills and tortures Rushan's a true hero of Russia.
Ironic.
It got to the point where Alodinov was being promoted as the successor to the ailing Kadyrov. So to speak, to make sure the level of chaos in the Republic wouldn't drop even if Ramzan was out of the picture.
Our brave and dedicated fighters, whom I personally monitor around the clock, in every single direction, are truly demonstrating incredible courage and unwavering resolve, which is already causing the Ukrainian leadership to quietly start panicking and showing signs of distress.
Kadyrov sensed that the position of chief jester was slipping away from him, so he went all out. He ordered a Cybertruck from AliExpress and mounted a machine gun on it.
Thank you so much. Thanks to Elon Musk for such a vehicle. It will soon be sent to the special military operation.
How do you like that, Elon Musk? We're waiting for a response from Aladdin Slippers. He'll mount an anti-aircraft gun on a Tesla and go hunting F-16S in Chelyabinsk region. Alodinov is the embodiment of the system, corrupt, cowardly, incredibly cruel, and loyal to the regime. All these qualities are perfect for running protection rackets at markets and climbing the ranks in government service. But they're useless in war.
I have only one question for you. Where are we going to bury you? You damned Satanists!
Let's put together a brief chronology of the Kadyrovites' actions in the Kursk region. Here is Akhmat spending quality time in Suzha just a few days before the arrival of the Ukrainian armed forces.
Is minced meat. Minced meat!
And now, Akhmat is no longer in Suzha.
He completely vanished from sight.
Why didn't Akhmat defend Suzha? Because he used up all his ammo on more important matters. Here is Alodinov, suggesting that Russians stock up on popcorn and watch as the Ding-Dong Guard defeats everyone else.
Everyone, calm down. Grab some delicious popcorn and calmly watch with great anticipation as our guys completely destroy the enemy forces.
Here is Akhmat heroically defeating the squirrels and common sense in the forest.
We present to you footage of the Kadyrovites in a shootout with bushes.
And here, unexpectedly, Akhmat fighters are in captivity. Although wait, everyone knows that Akhmat never surrenders.
Not a single one of our fighters has ever surrendered. The guys fight like lions. They say you have prisoners. A lot of prisoners. No, those are your Chechen prisoners that the Ukrainians captured. Ah, well, that happened in the area I'm talking about.
Alodinov has an ironclad argument for this case. Akhmat fighters who surrendered are no longer Akhmat fighters.
A Chechen who is captured is no longer a Kadyrovite, in effect.
Wait, is that even allowed? That's absolutely brilliant! By that very same logic, Russia hasn't actually lost any part of the Kursk region, because any lost territory is simply no longer considered Russia.
They say Akhmat special forces ran away there. And basically Akhmat ran away. That's all a lie. Guys, don't listen to it. We are still defending the borders of our great motherland, just as we always have.
Of course. Of course. Of course. They say if you play all of Alodinov's statements backwards, you get the chorus of Gazmanov's song, Asol. A man in his unit who was supposed to inspire fear and terror in the enemy's hand, especially among their own have, in 3 years turned into a laughingstock and sad clowns. All that's left for Akhmat to do is to hysterically record videos of people apologizing for doubting Akhmat's greatness.
It said that behind the conscript units stationed on the front line, there are literally said TikTokers standing behind them. I won't beat around the bush. What was meant was the Akhmat unit, for which I offer my apologies to you and to the Akhmat unit.
Some people who call themselves various kinds of Russians write all sorts of truly vile and disgusting filth about us and about anyone else in different channels. You will never ever succeed, because we are fundamentally above you.
But now, these videos no longer inspire fear, but rather irritation and anger. The Z Brotherhood is now openly speaking out against Kadyrov's toy soldiers, and they're no longer choosing their words.
Everything is moving in big steps toward the Third Chechen War. If anyone isn't aware, well, I guess I'm breaking the news here. Because apparently no one wants to live peacefully and in harmony. threats against Russian citizens, all sorts of reprisals, as well as all these strange antics with unusual awards, pardoning dangerous terrorists, and so on. It's absolute madness. Just complete and utter madness.
A group of Russian officers even wrote a complaint to Putin about Akhmat and Alaudinov personally. They are asking to have Alaudinov silenced and generally kept far away from the front. We also want to appeal to Putin and ask him not to do that. Otherwise, where will we get our funny videos from later?
Russian propaganda has truly blown up this particular image around the Kadyrovids, the Akhmat fighters, as if they are such incredibly formidable, exceptionally brave warriors who can utterly destroy absolutely anything they touch. I believe Ukraine should put an end to this topic and stop mentioning the Kadyrovites because they were finished 10 years ago.
I would like to remind you that this video is created for entertainment purposes and contains elements of satire and irony. All facts and events are presented in a hyperbolized or exaggerated form to convey a comedic or dramatic effect. Our goal is not to mislead, but to highlight humor. Please take it with a smile.